I'm like, are we ready?
Yeah,
Yes, maybe. Now
Oh,
we're
yeah.
live. Welcome
Hi.
back. I am so excited to see you. It's been over a week
Yeah.
since I've seen you. So we've both been out traveling. You went north, I went south. So I'm all palm treed
And I'm lighthoused
in your lighthouse. I
and beach
also
and lighthoused.
There were so many fun lighthouses being shared. That was
Mm-hmm.
a fun little moment. I didn't even bother pulling those because we had too much to talk about. But yeah, we've had some fun. So now we're back. We're locking in for a little bit, and then she's gonna be gone again. But before that, we're gonna lock in and we're gonna talk about everything we missed and you may have missed in just 40 seconds. So we'll see you on the other side of this. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, Nounish, Prof, and Adrienne for another episode of GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster. It is Wednesday, feels like Monday, August 13th, and you are here with Nounish, Prof, and Adrienne for, I don't even know how long it's going to be. Let's say 29 minutes for the fun of it. Of Farcaster news to start your day. And just getting some casts out, some tweets out. Share if you are in the chat, share now that you are watching. If you're in the mini app, share that, let everybody know.
Okay. But why is the mini app not being updated with that saying we're live and it's still showing a recording? Why?
Oh no,
Why,
I don't know.
why? Apologies.
Yep, we're gonna fix we fix it live. All right.
That's weird.
And we're out there. That is weird. So if you and I'm gonna be so this week, and I didn't even pull this cast, but I now have a tip-in allocation from Better for this next 2 weeks. So when you're sharing that you're watching live, I'm gonna be looking for those, and I'm gonna be throwing some tips on there. So I also have a degen allocation. So I have lots of things to give away that I want to give away for the next couple of weeks. So make sure you're sharing when you're watching live so we can catch it and say thank you.
It's very
All
hard
right.
not. It's very hard not to troubleshoot live right now.
She's gonna be. She's gonna be
just let it go.
No, do it. See if you can figure it out. It's okay.
You just talk.
Were you
so
able
it's
to like
somehow
push out?
caching.
Can you push out but you pushed out a notification? It's just not
I can
showing the live.
notify.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just not showing it live in the app. Is that what's going on?
It's showing the old
It's showing the
one.
recorded. That's weird.
And I cached that result, but I have a cache buster that I used, so it should pull fresh, but it's not. So
All right.
I kind of want to.
Okay, so while she does that, I'm going to jump into all the things we need to talk about today. And we got to start with this because it's just exciting. And I want to start with the happiest of happy news. News here is that People Pleaser and crew won an Emmy. So this is from People Pleaser. We won the freaking Emmy. This is the first for a crypto project, I think. So unbelievably exciting. White Rabbit, which was for Shibuya Film, which was created by, I'm not even going to say, Kusakara and Emily Yang for Shibuya Film. So very exciting to see this. And they do some of the Emmy Awards early, the ones that don't really get shown on air and the big thing. So this is really exciting. Congratulations, People Pleaser, and everyone who worked on this. I saw Miguel Gares mention he had a little part. There was a lot of interactive pieces to this. If you guys remember the puzzle when it launched, that was really cool. That you minted like pieces. You could mint, I think, like 5 pieces in a frame, and then you had to put it together. And there was an actual like seed phrase So that was our friends from the creators. Ryan and Jordan were the ones who actually figured that out and won that. So, but really cool to see this happen. Super exciting. So congratulations to them. Wanted to start with that. Some other happy news updates. This is from Ted. And again, we're going back a week. So if some of this is old news, this is like 5 days ago. So old news, but some of you may not know. Happy update. I've joined the incredible team at Privy to scale operations and support our industry shaping customers over the moon to reunite with Sigal, Henry, Jay Hins, and team to enable a new generation of global internet native financial and consumer products. We're just getting started. And the Privy team started bidding on this. Like they had a little bidding war to collect the cast. So that was really fun to see. Ted was with Farcaster for about 6 months and decided to move on to Privy. Very exciting for Privy and Ted as well. And important to note because next up, Warpcast rewards, Farcaster rewards, leaderboard results. So we needed to explain why Ted suddenly is back. So that is why Ted is back, because she can be. For those who may not remember, Ted was often at the very top of the leaderboard. And then she went to work for Merkel and she couldn't be, and she was taken out. So she is back. This from Brad Q. Rewards leaderboard results. Well, we've come full circle. Ted was number 2 in the first ever rewards cast I did, see quoted cast. And now she's back to take the number 1 spot as a mere mortal Farcaster. Congrats. And just a note on this, it's nice to see. I feel like her spark is back, which is nice to see. I feel like she was, a little more muted when she was working for Farcaster. So like I feel like over the past week you saw the real Ted back on the timeline. So it's nice to see. Continuing on, Erica returns to the top 10 after a hiatus on her perilous trip to Europe. Accidental boy mom nips Bert for number 3. Some familiar faces in the top 10, but always seems right for July to find his way into the top 10 at number 9. Congrats to Offline for 12, even though not top 10, a great week. Also seems like formerly too hot for the leaderboard. Jesse Jean has a breakthrough and becoming a regular in the top 30 at 23. Stephen Dillon Dev at number 18 seems like their highest rank, and Rabinowitz at 27, maybe their highest. Meme coveted 69 goes to Danica Swanson, who has started to move up a few tiers the last couple weeks. Keep an eye out for first timers who get excited for their first $3 or $5 rewards. So very exciting. Nice to see Ted back at the top. That was a lot of fun. Very cool. All right, how are you doing?
I'm back.
Okay.
We're gonna have to start covering the base app rewards too, which is a completely different leaderboard and
I did pull it for last week. I didn't see anything this week mentioned. So I don't know if they do like a weekly, like if anyone's doing any kind of weekly update, but I didn't see anything. I do have a bunch of stuff from the base app, to be clear, that's coming up very shortly. So there you go. I'm going to just retweet one more time because we seem to be not getting a lot of traction on X right now. I think we're getting throttled every time I say the word Farcaster. I don't know. I could be paranoid, but I'm thinking that we're getting throttled a little bit over there. So just trying to make sure
say something bad about Sam Altman and see if your tweet gets picked up.
So does that help? Is that what you're saying?
I think that's what the algorithm likes.
Maybe
that's a guess.
That's funny. That's really funny. Let's see if we can, get a few folks in here. Just want to try and see if we can get a few more before we jump into all the big news. And base up. Okay. Let's see if we can get any retweets here. All righty. Moving on. We have there's a lot that's happened over the past few minutes. I mean, a few weeks this week. So we've got a lot of things to talk about. I had to really like consolidate today. Really curate. Yeah, very much curating here today. What were
Okay,
you
so I
gonna say?
went to Twitter, by the way. So a couple things.
Yeah.
I went to, so one, mini app is working, whatever that
Yay.
hiccup was. I didn't fix it. It just started working on its own. So
Oh, good. Okay.
it wasn't, I don't know what happened. Number two, I just went to Twitter to see our live stream, and it's Twitter's not, so we don't, when we go live on your account,
Yes.
it'll usually, like I'll get a notification when someone I know
Yeah.
goes live.
It's
I
not
don't
doing
see
that.
it. It's not showing up
Yeah.
on the top of my Twitter feed. It's not showing up my notifications.
It's been weird. It sometimes does and sometimes doesn't, and I don't know why. I have yet to figure that out. It is
Weird.
yeah, really weird. And you're right. It even usually does that for me when I log in. It'll say join now, and it's not saying that anymore. So I don't know. But anyway, we're gonna just
Anyway,
move on. We're gonna move
yes to
on.
crypto could be our ticker. Just we'll have
Yes.
people just just put the price of ETH into the chat, and we'll just add it to the screen as we talk.
Oh, I just saw 4710 on my. This is when we need my mother joining in with her market reports. I don't know if you saw that. That was so funny, by the way, that I didn't pull that cast, but my mom sending me a message when it went to 4,300. It said it's almost at 4,300. Why not Bitcoin? And she like she can't. Why isn't Bitcoin going up? I'm like, yeah, easy sailor, easy there, sailor. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
That's right. Yes. You
Um,
can't even hear the ocean waves in the background
yeah.
because our
Yeah.
noise canceling
Yeah.
are so
Can,
good.
yeah. It's yes, we were both at the beach this past week. All right, moving on. We've got a lot of things that have happened on Farcaster this past week, including a new casting flow, I guess is the way to put it, which so anyway, I started casting. This is from Say Angel. Didn't realize how attached I had become to the cast countdown screen that let me proofread my thoughts. A latest FC update fired the cast immediately, and I had a mini heart attack. So I don't know if I missed it. Like I knew that they were working on the new flow. They've mentioned that a couple times, but I never saw an announcement of like the new flow is now here. I just all of a sudden had it. And I double checked this morning. I'm like, I don't see anything about this. So yeah, there is a new flow. The preview is now gone. And this from Dan, Deep Lore, when the entire OG user base revolted after we launched the cast preview screen. I can't remember like if I was upset or not upset.
When they added it, I was not. I was always a fan,
Yeah,
but
I think I was too. Yeah, it didn't bother me. And now I'm getting used to it, but I had a typo in something and I was like, damn, I would have caught that. I would have caught that in the preview. So I was kind of bummed about that.
The ability to edit casts was always like top of everyone wants to edit. I will go on record. I'm the biggest fan of no edit.
I'm not surprised.
No edit. I like that screen that lets you review before you cast.
Yeah.
But I think typos are a feature, not a bug. And because it just reminds you of that we're all human and we are not AI. We make mistakes. And I like the ability to make mistakes can make some of these text networks feel less performative and needing to be perfect all the time. So it's like, you know what? It's cool. No one's above a typo.
Okay. I'd rather just be able to edit my typos out. So 10 points off for typos is what I'm saying. It's the professor in me. I don't like a typo. But to your point on the AI part of it, yes, this is another way to like distinguish who is AI and who's not. So I guess that's a good thing. See a typo, it's probably a human. So there you go. So yeah, so things continuously change. And I think they're still talking about edit as a possibility, but I don't think it's a high priority right now. but we'll see.
It's right behind animated GIFs.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's where it lies. Come on.
PFP,
Come
actually,
on,
animated
girlfriend.
PFPs.
There we go. This is the big news. We now have pro trading, and this was something I was testing. I was in that test group to test the pro trading, but we couldn't share it, so I finally can. So swap fees are now at 0.15 on Ethereum chains and 0 on Solana. We were able to lower fees by another 40%, and we're passing the savings along to you. This is an update to the original cast, and then pro trading is out to all users. So this type of thing is out to all users. Restart to get the latest. Fees are even lower for pro users. We now charge 0 Solana and 0.15 on ETH chains. If you do a swap for at least $100 this week, you get a bonus on the weekly rewards. I started doing that too early because they said something about it and I did it too soon and it didn't. Anyway,
it didn't count for next week.
Yeah, it didn't count. I'm like, oh, I gotta redo that. This new pro trade. This is the full cast from V. A new pro trading. Farcaster Pro gives you the best prices on every trade. No hidden fees or gimmicks. Popular wallets charge you 1% or more on trades. What's worse, fees are hidden, so you don't realize how much you're losing on every trade. Our new trading experiences promises that we will find the best place to execute your trade, tell you what we're charging you, charge the lowest fees of any wallet if you have Farcaster Pro. If you trade on chain, you'll earn more with Farcaster Pro. Okay. We also made a lot of improvements for all users. Your favorite tokens on Base and Solana show up immediately. Our buy page makes it easier to select tokens you care about. Our trades now execute faster, making sure you don't miss a run up. One thing I didn't ask and I meant to ask, and I don't know if you know, is I'm not sure what's powering the background. Like, I don't know if it's 0x. I'm not sure how they're finding the best pricing, and it might be custom built by Sloak. It's very possible. Sloak has done most of the wallet tooling. So most of the, I think a lot of the upgrades is coming from Sloak or Kartik, depending on how you prefer. And so I'm not sure what's
it's a great
powering the
question.
background. Yeah, because I'm like, ooh, this is I'm dying to know like what's going on over dinner at Linda's house. Like, how does Will feel about this? Because it's really interesting. I think we're getting an interesting competitive environment right now that I didn't quite expect. Where Farcaster really decided to lean into the wallet side of it, where I think that was more of an afterthought for a long time. You know, it was the thing to, you know, now it's becoming the primary.
Yeah.
And so watching that and the little bit of, you know, things with Base, they did pull out the external Coinbase wallet. That was because it wasn't working properly and they couldn't get it fixed. I didn't even pull that cast, but we'll let you know that part. So it wasn't like a, you know, spite kind of thing. It was more of a like, this isn't working right now and we'll try and get it back in once it is. And I think it's the changes that they're making on their end. Something broke. So
yeah, Dan and Jesse aren't casting each other. This is like the way Elon and Sam are casting at each other.
Yeah, they're not casting at each other. It's not that level. They're still friends. It's still a cooperative environment, but it's different. It's definitely heating up a little bit. It's really interesting to see because they're now sort of crossing over into each other's territory and, you know, with Base bringing in social and really leaning into Zora and that approach. And then Farcaster leaning into wallet. So it's interesting to see. And then you have other cooperative companies who are now competitive, you know, like Rainbow, where Rainbow was sort of the go-to wallet for a lot of Farcaster. You know, now that's not not going to be the case as much. And then you also have things like Matcha. in terms of swaps and seeing that kind of come out. So it's interesting. I don't know how this all, plays out in the end,
Yeah.
but it's interesting to see this sort of competitive environment. And here's the thing, it's better, hopefully, for the users. Get it, the competition leads to
Right.
better experiences, better prices, all those things. So yeah. Oop, that's good to know. Try to swap with L1. Be sure you have token for gas. Okay. Oh, they were talking about up there. There you go. And then Zora Zora Rise definitely has an impact on base. So there's a lot of things happening that are really interesting right now. So yeah, it's going to be a fun rest of the year. See how this all plays
Have you
out.
played with Zapper recently?
I haven't yet. I downloaded the test flight. I haven't gotten a chance to dive in there, but that's the other one that's coming. Degen, I think, is still making a client. So I don't know what that looks like, especially with this information. If I was Yasik, I don't know. I don't know how I'd feel about this. Like, this is, I don't know if that's, I don't know what their plan is exactly. So hopefully we can get him on here fairly soon. I think, once that's ready to be discussed. So it's really interesting to see all of this happen. Ooh, interesting. I haven't used Matcha once. I don't know much about it. It's a really good swap site. So Matcha is a great swap. It does find you usually the best route for liquidity purposes, but it'll be interesting to see if anyone compares Matcha and the Farcaster wallet. See if where you get the best fees. That feels like a job for Yes to Crypto. Just saying. Feels like something he could probably very quickly assess. So if you have done any comparison, we'd love to know. All right, moving on. Maybe not moving on. This is going to be one of these days, isn't it? Isn't it? Come on, you can load for me. We've got still a bunch of things to dive into, including some big discussions around L1s, but we'll get to that in a sec. And come on, will you just load for me, please? I really hate when this happens. Come on, you can do it. In the meantime, could somebody go do some test swaps? Let me know how it goes. Okay, here's some more things. Working on the token page making the token page better on mobile. What are your top requests? So if you have requests regarding the token page itself, when you click on the token, shoot them here to V. They do take your feedback seriously. So definitely jump in there and let them know what you're looking for. Especially the traders. They really want to hear from those who do a lot of trading. What do you want to see in the token page? Why is this still not coming? Here it is. Okay. Lightning fast swaps. So this was the other part of this. We made our swaps a lot faster. They now take 2 to 3 seconds on average. This one took barely a second. Small step towards making this the best wallet to trade with. So that was the other improvement they made. And it does seem pretty fast. So impressive work by mostly Sloke. Moving on over in the base universe.
Sloke is getting a lot of glaze today.
I mean, I know. I don't think I have one cast from him. He's all in the background, just hiding in the background, doing the work. I have to keep shouting him out because he's pretty impressive. This from Coinbase, millions of assets, one Coinbase app. Well, technically two, but okay. Every asset on base. Faster and easier access to on-chain trading. Tokens go from launch to available on Coinbase in moments. All available in the same Coinbase app with DEX trading. Rolling out now, starting in the US, except New York. So you won't see it. So this is the power of the DEX on Coinbase, meaning the tokens that used to, tokens that launch on Base that normally it would be a whole process to get them listed on Coinbase. It's now going to happen automatically if you launch on Base. So it's a couple things. It's good for discovery, but also be careful out there because some, in the past, it's been seen as sort of a thumbs
blessing.
up. This is fine. A blessing. That's the word I was looking for. And that's not going to be the case anymore. So be careful out there is what I would say to this because it will be, you just never know. So be careful out there, people.
I know.
You know.
You know, it's just not what you want.
We know. And then speaking of Base, happy birthday, Base. That was last week. 3 days ago. 2 years in, still day one. Love this little animation. Thought it was very cute. 2 years of Base. And we've been here for the whole 2 years. So it's very exciting. This from Jesse. I'm excited about Coinbase Farcaster.eth's DEX launch because it puts Base builders on a level playing field. Base is for everyone, but because of the antiquated listing process, that didn't always feel true. Now it is, and it's up to builders to earn the attention with hard work onwards. So we'll see how this goes. I think we just have to kind of wait and see. This from Chintan, what we shipped in the last 2 weeks on Base, top focus has been on performance, polish, and bugs. Big improvements to videos. Vertical videos feel better. All videos have timestamps, overlays, auto resume when you swipe back, and have overall smoother playback. Tighter convos, inline replies keep you in the feed, and mentions now have better support for long usernames. Cleaner coin creation. Ticker spacings are fixed and emojis are now supported. That's kind of big. Better mini apps. Open one mini app from another. Enjoy fast context data, less than 50 seconds. Full safe area handling on every device. And this is big. Base Pay is built in now. So that's pretty cool. Fit and finish on payments. Tapping your balance now autofills max. Error messages are cleaner and you can toggle off incoming requests. Faster and better everything. Faster feed loads, better Android stability. That's always been an issue. Easier onboarding and lots of keyboard fixes for replies. What's next? Inline comment replies, pinch to zoom photos. That's been something that I've found a little annoying. 1 GB plus uploads and invite codes. So that's very cool. Very exciting. So soon you'll be able to invite directly to the Base app. And loving all these things. I noticed that the Zoom, because I went to zoom in on something because I'm old. Sometimes we have to zoom. It was like a chart or a graphic or something, and I was zooming in, and it only zooms in the middle. So you can't move it over. Like you can't zoom on the left side or the right side. And I was like, I can't see what this says. It's a problem. So I had to go over and look at it in Farcaster so I could actually do that. So there you go. Still doesn't have it as of, what doesn't it have?
Speaking of old, every time I've given UI feedback to Farcaster, when I'm like, oh, this doesn't look the same way on me, I'll always get the hey, do you have your text zoomed? I do
yeah.
And I'm like, yes, clearly you're not. There's no one on your team.
No one on your team over 40.
Oh.
That's funny. You don't have the Base DEX trading. Okay, I was trying to figure out what you're saying. Yeah, they said they're starting to roll it out. So I don't know what proof of typo. I'm human. That's funny. So yeah, I'm not sure how they're rolling that out because a lot of people still don't have it. And so it should be rolling out shortly, which is pretty cool. So another way for people to discover. I've been working. I was talking with the Base team. I'm trying to get access to the beta for my students because I do usually have them do Coinbase Wallet. I've had this other thought though. I'm like, I could have them do Farcaster now because of the wallet, but I still feel like the Coinbase wallet, aka the base app, is a better approach for them because it's going to have that Coinbase integration, whereas they may not know where to go if they want to off ramp. So I'm back and forth on that, but I have to figure that out in the next week because it's school time. All right. Now that we've just said that, okay, we've talked about how the DEX is now going to be available on Coinbase. And here's some of the concerns. So this is actually Solana issue, but same. DYOR, don't buy suspicious tokens. You'll get rugged. Everyone on Farcaster buy the balloon pop. Okay, so you may have missed this, Adrienne. I don't know if you saw what happened. But yeah, when you see balloons, look around for clowns. So popfi, the balloon pop mini app launched a token called $pop on Solana on pump.fun, and it rugged. So primarily it was folks on Farcaster who were claiming it, and they were also doing an airdrop where you had to, it was old school airdrop, recast, tag 2 friends, that kind of thing, which immediately I went, I'm not doing that. So I missed, I didn't end up getting involved with this particular token, but there were a lot of people who just, didn't think twice about it. And I really didn't think about it in terms of it being, something that was going to get rugged. Didn't cross my mind at all, because I was like, why would you put this much effort into creating a mini app and building up, like, just, it felt like a lot of work to just then rug a pump.fun token. Like, it just seemed like that's crazy. And I'm sure a lot of other people had that same thinking of like, why would you go through all this just to go and rug this thing? But that's exactly what happened. And I think I am underestimating how much effort that really was. So this was my cast. This one baffles me a bit. Need to fully do the math, but it seems like a small take after building a mini app. They spent money on QR to advertise on QR. They won an auction, and it was significant, like $1,600 or something. Wasn't nothing. They paid on amps, influence, a whole bunch of different things, plus paying people to pop balloons. Most of the time you're paying a penny out to somebody, but there were like larger rewards and things like that. And then Griffin did a whole write-up on Paragraph about this. So this gives a really good summary of what happened. And his take is that they didn't spend as much as you think. But if you want to get caught up on everything that happened, this is a good write-up and summary of all of that. Here's what I thought was really interesting. This was from Nikki Sapp. I hate to say it, but the Solana trenches are rinsed. The pop wallet that fished 22K was slowly selling over the past 24 hours after receiving multitudinous inbound transfers of the token from a number of accounts, all in denominations equivalent to roughly $950. This is a typical strategy to obfuscate the source of funds. Slurf Tools has easy to use and cheap functions for this. The wallet never made a purchase of the actual token and only received the tokens for free. It got impatient and dumped everything it held over the course, and it was more than 35% of the total supply of the token. So that was really interesting. And then this was his other take from Nikki Sapp. This is a great question. How do I feel after spending my time and energy on Solana? So there was a question in that same thread from somebody asking that, like, how do you feel about it after you've spent so much time and energy? How do you feel about seeing these kind of rugs? So most of you know I've been a staunch advocate for Solana, especially here in Farcaster. The Solana Labs team and ecosystem players such as Tapestry, Meteoria, and Helios have been incredibly supportive. We received developer funding from Meteora, shipped launcher infra across Farcaster, Twitter, and our web app, and made what I consider to be meaningful revenue. Outside of Circus, I've worked on some great projects as a silent dev, which has been challenging, rewarding, and a chance to grow beyond my EVM roots. To be clear, my opinion on the culture of Solana is not an indictment of their ecosystem. However, there is a cultural issue driven mainly by hyper-speculative ephemerality. Very well written, by the way. Take note that most major products on Solana have never released a token or did so deep into their product cycle. Magic Eden, Pump Fund, Tensor, Vector, Helios, Meteora. Some of whom have delayed their airdrops or token sales for extended periods, some indefinitely. On the other hand, projects that launch immediately often get stuck, forced to appease holders and investors while their charts bleed out. See Believe, Clout, Let's Bonk. That pressure leads to fake volume, coordinated pumps, whatever it takes to survive. And now EVM native projects like Pengu and Dudes are launching on Solana simply because it's easier to extract liquidity there. Enough said. If you want to build something real on Solana, the playbook is raise from Alliance DAO or a major VC, find PMF, then drop a token when revenue starts to dry up, extract, repeat. So yeah, I'm disillusioned. I've never been a chain maxi, even having been in crypto since Bitcoin in 2013. I update my thesis constantly, and this cycle taught me a lot. If I were only chasing profit, I'd say it's been a win. But I want more than that. I don't regret my time in Solana, but I'm starting to realize it may not be the right place for builders like me. So that was a lot. We've had Nikki on when he launched Circus and chatted about the Solana ecosystem. And I will say that they have been supportive of builders like him and like others in terms of Solana Foundation and other avenues. But Pump Fun has been the thing that's driven a lot of the attention and a lot of the profit too, for a lot of people. So I think that approach has really taken over a lot of this. So thoughts? Thoughts from a person who never popped a balloon?
Didn't pop the balloon. Enjoyed the discussions around it. I don't. No, I don't have thoughts.
Okay.
I'm thoughtless today.
Nothing on this one. Well, there's a few more.
It just like didn't feel particularly surprising. Like it just was like, oh, okay. And I don't think like people like, I don't think people were putting their entire net worth into the pop balloon.
No.
Like,
people
and I don't know. And then in terms of Nikki's culture thing, like all good points. Like, I think culture is important. Culture
evolves.
Everything.
Culture evolves too. So it's not, what might have worked for you for a while, things change, what might have the environment pre-Pump Fun, might be very different post-Pump Fun. So it's tough. This was related to the balloon popping incident. And this is from Patricia X. Lee. Please forgive my uninformed non-crypto person questions, but now I'm very curious. One, if we can grant wallet access to many apps easily in Farcaster, why can't we revoke them just as easily? Two, why isn't there some kind of verified badge yet in the mini app ecosystem to mark developers who've gone through a vetting process? So interesting. Okay. This was Porcefax's answer. We'll answer your specific questions first, then share some on safety. These are going to be long, so I'll reply separately for each. Wallet access. If we can grant wallet access to many apps easily, why can't we revoke them? Wallet access is an overloaded term. If you're using a mini app, what it can actually do with your wallet, read token balances and make requests to do things. So how can you tell if a request is legit? The first screenshot here is Tortoise. And he goes on to like show how you can tell whether it's legit or not. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. And then the other thing is request token approvals. This is a really special case of number 2. But since it's so common and can be more dangerous, it deserves its own category. One kind of request a mini app can make is asking you to give it an approval to spend some amount of a token. This can be limited or unlimited amount. This pattern is deeply baked into crypto and very much an original sin of crypto UX. The third screenshot here is a crowd fund asking me to approve spending 5 USDC as a donation. If you see an app ask for an unlimited approval here, that's usually a big red flag. Of all the things a mini app can do, you should be most careful about approving requests for token approvals. It's the only thing that allows an app to do something with the money in your wallet when you're not physically there. But there are many legitimate use cases for approvals. For example, approvals are what enable Tippin and Noise to send tips on your behalf. There's nothing to disconnect or revoke for 1 and 2. For 3, you can check and revoke approvals with other mini apps and then shared below. So just to kind of, put a pin on that of, stay safe out there. But token approvals are the big thing. And we've seen that there was another mini app, and I can't recall which one it was right off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure Toady got rugged or exploited on something, and I can't remember what it was, but it involved doing an unlimited approval. And I can't remember which one it was, but something got exploited. Was it QR? No. Was it, what the heck was it? I can't remember what it was. Was it QR? Was it the QR one? Maybe it was QR.
It was probably not that long ago too.
It wasn't. It was like 2 weeks ago or something.
I don't
It really
remember.
was recent. It was really recent, and it's if anyone remembers, let me know. But there was something where if you gave the unlimited approval, it was able to grab your USDC, I think, for some reason. USDC? I think it was USDC. Yeah, it was QR notifs. That's what it was. It was the QR notification. Somebody hacked in to the QR notifications. And if you had, but everybody got reimbursed. That's right. Everyone got reimbursed, but it was the QR notifs. There was something that came through that got hacked. And if you had, and it really came down to approvals as to how much they were able to snag there. So just be careful out there, especially around approvals of mini apps. And also, I'm going to be a little more cautious now on, what I'm doing with mini apps, and just be a little more aware, because I've been probably a little lazy about it as well. And also assuming social signals as help, you know what I mean? As helpful. So for example, somebody winning a QR auction and QR promoting it was sort of, and that's what happened with the popfi thing, it's feeling like a social signal when it's really not, right? Anyone, it's permissionless. Anyone can win the auction.
Right.
And they're going to promote whoever wins the auction. So they're not necessarily doing any vetting. And I think that's the issue here, is that, we're assuming vetting that doesn't exist. And that's probably not.
Actually, right. Thing. So when the balloon popped, my first thought when I read it was like, oh, did I recast anything through amps? Like, did they use me to amplify messages that I didn't even know about? Because I
didn't even think of that.
I put myself on amps, and then I wouldn't have been happy. But I don't know the answer. I think you had
I didn't even think of that. You're probably right, and I probably did and didn't even realize it. So yeah, there is that too, of making sure, kind of checking. I was pretty vigilant about that early on. I haven't been as vigilant in the past month or so. But I was very early on, I was checking every cast that I was recasting in amps and just making sure. And now I've been a little less on top of that. So that's a great point. So also, if you're getting recasted, if you're recasting on amps and someone's paying you, or influence is the other one, just double check what you're being requested to do. Within this same thread here from Horsefax is the frame to revoke approvals. So if you need to revoke approval, use the small frame. And there's a link in here, a frame. Sorry, mini app. That's funny.
What does small mean?
Small, just another way to say small.
And okay.
Yeah. Like HODL. Small.
I use the app Horsefax.
Oh, cool.
And I revoked some permissions. I guess I had some from a Morpho app
Oh, do you
that
do
were
any?
remaining.
I think the Morpho one is the staking one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I revoked them all.
All right. Awesome. Yeah. So you just go, if you click on that frame has a number of, sorry, mini app. Why am I saying frame? I owe Linda so much money today. If you can click on the stay safe revoke, and that will help you revoke, but also there's a disperse here and one safe all chains. So there you go. There's a few different things there that you can check out.
The frame versus mini app, by the way, as a developer, it's still funny. Like right now I'm getting messages like not everything has been renamed throughout all the documentations or different SDKs. Like, so right now I'm getting a message like, I'm still importing a frame SDK and it's like, hey, this is being deprecated. You should probably change it to mini app. And then there's one in the manifest, like there's a section on the Coinbase wallet one where you add in, there's a section for like frame metadata and it still says frame. But I think Farcaster updated to mini app metadata. So I changed it, but then Coinbase wallet was still looking for, or the base app was still looking for something called frame. So now I have both. So I just think it's so funny. Sorry, Linda. We're not there
Linda,
yet.
we're not quite there yet. We'll get there. Okay. Oop. As soon as I think it's not loading, it loads. Okay.
Okay, wait. So wait, I always, hold on, just from Gregarious.
Yeah.
I always worry those apps revoke all others and give themselves permissions. So are you saying like when you go to like a revoke app, it's like, yeah, I'll revoke for you, but now you've just given me permission to everything? Yeah, be paranoid.
Yeah, I think the paranoia is great. You should definitely be paranoid. Trust no one.
I tend to trust Horsefax.
Yes, I do as well.
Except he does make jokes. Like he's got a little sarcastic, dry wit to him. So I think it's possible he would make a joke. I don't think I trust him with his apps.
I trust his apps as well. Yeah, that dry wit runs strong in the family. His nephew Burt also quite funny. Quite the dry wit as well. A little bit of sarcasm there. Okay, moving on. Totally new topic. This is from Garrett. Stripe is launching an L1 with Paradigm called Tempo. Circle is launching an L1 with formal systems called Arc. Feels like we're back in the enterprise blockchain era. So this has been a big discussion on Farcaster in the past couple of days. And this is from Alana Levin. It's 2030. And Alana is from Variant, the VC, who funds quite a bit of blockchain things. It's 2030. You're a merchant receiving payment from a customer. They pay with USDC on Circle Chain, but your payment terminal only receives Stripe USD on Stripe Chain. But once you get Stripe USD, you want to transfer it to your account with a Bank of America. So you need to transfer it to B of A USD on B of A chain. But wait, you go and pay your supplier. The problem is they custody with JP Morgan. Then you need to get your B of A USD on B of A chain to JP Morgan USD on JP Morgan chain. But JP Morgan chain is permissioned. So now you need to route it through a special intermediary and so on. Is this the future we're heading towards? Yeah. So here was the bigger discussion. There was a couple discussions going on. There's that, like everyone's going to have their own chain. What a pain in the butt. Feel that. And then there's also the discussion of the L1 versus L2. Like, why aren't they just building an L2 on Ethereum? Wouldn't that be easier? 100%. And I think we all know the reason they're building their own L1, everybody. It's called money. Follow the money. It's profit motive. It's my guess, and I could be wrong, is that the VCs behind here see that as the way to earn back their investment and probably 10 to 100 exit. So if you are, wanting to, and the other reason could be straight up wanting to make sure you can build what you want to build when you want to build it and having control over the security of the chain. I can understand that, especially if you're coming from outside of the crypto world. So if you're not as dialed in and understand how Ethereum works and how, you know what I mean, everything works, you're going to feel more comfortable as a large corporate entity saying, we want to build this ourselves. We want to make sure that we are in control of this thing, whatever, you know, this chain. The other part of this, and this is the part that I think I disagree a little bit with Alana, that I don't exactly think it's going in this direction, is that you've got privy under the hood. So is there something happening behind the scenes that's doing that swap and making it effortless to make sure that you can cross these different chains? And I don't think it's there yet, but I'm assuming that by 2030 it would be. So
effortless, but it doesn't mean not every intermediary is taking their slice of fees, right? So at the end, like payments, like just the idea, it's a very winner take all mindset. And it's, yeah, I don't know. I think,
and yes to crypto, having USDC for gas will unlock a lot. I suspect yes, but do you need USDC on all the different chains? That is going to be the question. So is it going to be interoperable, or are you going to need the USDC for that particular chain? And that's what I think is a little concerning, but also unsurprising. I think it's unsurprising that this would be the direction. And especially from less so from Stripe. I think Stripe probably could make an L2 decision, but more so from the banks, who are going to want control over everything. And they're already can see the writing on the wall that this is the direction that is going to be more consumer friendly in terms of saving on fees, which means they're going to lose fees, which means now they want to try and figure out how they're capturing those fees back. And here we are. And that's my guess.
Yeah. I'm not even sure what an enterprise blockchain is, but I think in
it's a blockchain that only works for your company.
Right. But it just like the benefit, like it's just kind of open ledger. Right. And I guess as a, you don't necessarily get the promises that you do with
it's not necessarily, it's not decentralized. Yeah. It's just not decentralized.
And I guess everyone has their own ledgers and blockchains over time. Like if it's open and there's standards, right? Like the interoperability, it goes up, right? So to your point, in terms of Alana's description, probably flows a lot smoother than we're imagining it. But it's everyone's putting got their hands in the jar.
Yeah, and this is a whole bunch of craziness. That looking at our technology at this moment and the way things work, I agree, this is insane. But I just don't think that's where it's going to end up.
But but then you understand the why. It's like it's like like don't be surprised.
Yeah, and also thinking about it from the consumer perspective too, is that a lot of this will just be hidden, just the same way it is with credit card fees. Like you don't realize that you're paying. And I don't mean from the consumer side, but when you're actually paying with a credit card, the company's already raised the price up of whatever it is you're buying to cover the fees that they have to pay to the credit card company. So that's what I mean by it's already hidden. So it'll be the same kind of thing. So that's what it looks like to me, is that you will need 10 variations of USDC per chain as a starter, but we'll see. Like, can they make it interoperable so that we don't see that behind the scenes? And you've got the 3.25 credit card fees, instant transfer options to your, exactly. So they have to do this. It's unsurprising to me, but also doesn't it make you want to punch Jamie Dimon in the face just because he's been so anti-crypto, and watching JP Morgan and all the big banks doing this like annoys the crap out of me, because they fought it so hard, realized they can no longer win, and now it's like, okay, now we're going to come in and just grab it all up, and it's just like, just want to punch you in the face. Anyway, there was what was it? East Denver? No, Consensus last year, I think it was. It was something where they had like these Jamie Dimon, like somebody was walking around as Jamie Dimon, and it was really funny. Anyway, so it's interesting. I think the next 5 years are going to be fascinating in crypto for sure. And we have this related from Dan. Something I've changed my mind over the last few years: make crypto invisible in the product. When starting work on Farcaster in 2020, the goal was to build a decentralized social networking protocol minimally on top of Ethereum. We shipped an embedded wallet from the first desktop version of the client. We've experimented with abstractions like in-app payments and warps and off-chain in-app currency. Ultimately, the market is bifurcated. You either like crypto or you don't. And if you don't, you're not going to use something built on crypto when there are decentralized alternatives that don't use it. That's Blue Sky, etc. So the new approach is crypto everywhere, but just make it easy to use. And then Balaji had this thought: I agree with this, as crypto is a community that grows by millions every year. So what we build for the base today is used by normies tomorrow. Thus, we can be all in on crypto in a user-friendly way, of course, in a high trust way too, but also in a straightforward way because the world is going on chain. So it depends on if you believe in that premise. If you do, then it is just making it easier for folks to be able to use all the apps that we're building. Oh, back to one other note for those who may have forgotten, that Stripe bought Privy. So there you go, acquired Privy. So we know that that's going to be part of their strategy for sure. All right, couple more things. Almost done. This from Bobby Ong, who is, okay, now I've forgotten who he is, but he's somebody important. Totally forgotten who he is.
Welcome,
and I can't get his
Bobby Ong,
name.
to Farcaster.
Bobby Ong, I'll go check you out in a second. I find the wallet integration of Farcaster very well done. This is what it should look like on all social media apps in the future. Hard to unsee the future once I see it here on Farcaster. Even Telegram could have done a better job of making its wallet more prominent instead of hiding it in the settings. I didn't know Telegram had a wallet. So they're hiding it very well. Co-founder and COO of CoinGecko and Gecko Terminal. Yes, I had to go double check.
By the way, thank you. Yes, the Crypto sometimes acts as our off-screen producer. Thank you. We love you.
Totally is today.
We'll send your paycheck in the mail. It's amazing.
Amazing. I was like, I know I looked this up this morning, but I could not remember who he was. I'm like, he's somebody important. People are excited he's here. I don't remember who he is. So that I thought was great to see, because this is somebody who's been in crypto for a long time, that they do like the way that the wallet is working within Farcaster.
It's really good. I've been seeing a lot of those, like, hey, I'm, it's like, oh, I'm back, and I'm noticing how much better Farcaster is today than whenever, last time I was active X years ago. So that's cool to see, because I think when you're here every day, you don't necessarily see the incremental progress.
Yeah.
But
totally. It's like when somebody sees your kid and they're like, oh my God, he grew 3 feet. I'm like, did he? I don't know.
He did.
Yeah, he did. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the child's growing up in Farcaster. I think I'll pay for my yarn for. Yes, cool. Are you getting one that your PFP will look so good? Trippy version. I'm excited for that.
In the base app.
In the base. No, you'll still see it. It just won't move. It'll move if you click on it.
Yeah.
Just click right on it. Funny. All right. Couple more things for our friends here today. Happening in New York is Ethereum New York this week. World of App events are happening, and Linda is going to be demoing Farcaster at an event on August 14th. And so go check that out. I don't think she put the details. I think it was in a different cast. So there's going to be World of Apps happening in New York during Ethereum NYC. This is also sponsored by Octant and Nouns. So this is part of, there's also a House of Nouns happening with a whole bunch of activities. So if you are in New York, go check this out. This should be fun this week.
Yeah, I saw Abram also is going to be there demoing splits.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
And splits, I should say probably teams, not splits,
yes,
but splits is the company, teams is their product, which is kind of like on-chain banking and back office for companies, which we use and like.
Chaskin will also be there, I believe. Chaskin from the Ethereum Foundation is doing some stuff at House of Nouns. So there's a lot of things happening this week.
I wish I could be there. In my backyard.
It's a lot. I get it. It's a lot. This from Yasik. What's the wildest sponsorship or stunt we could pull off together that would put degen in front of millions? Drop your ideas. So if you have any ideas, drop them here. Guinness World Record was mentioned. Mr. Beast type things. Lots of Formula One, of course. Everyone likes a Formula One idea. So go check that out if you have any ideas for Yasik. He's looking for them. And this from Adrienne. Oops. Maybe it's coming.
I could just tell you.
Like, I can't even remember what it was. I want to produce a show that's like the old Newlywed Game, but for co-founders building a Farcaster. We would have a few sets of co-founders on stage, the couples, and we'd ask questions to one that we had previously asked the other and see how well their answers match. Whichever couple gets the most matches wins. Prizes could be put up by companies in the Farcaster stack, like free 3-month subscription to Privy or Nanar or X dollars worth of AMPS credit. Is there interest in this? Which couples, I mean co-founders, should we invite first? So if you have ideas for the couples, I think that would be fun. By the way, yes, JRF, this is something I've been thinking about for quite a while, of trying to do different game shows. And we're working on it. So Nanar's in. That'd be cool. Obviously, everybody wants DWR and V. And Linda and Daniel for it. That would be fun. Erica and Christopher would be great. Great suggestion. Reality Crafter and Willy Wonka are up for it. So I think we've got interest.
Yes.
The interest is there. So
Los Fomos, we'll get the Los Fomos ladies on.
Los Fomos will make it spicy. Yeah.
So this you and I chatted about this, about doing and I no, Greg, sorry. I will not be a contestant. But Leeward Found said he met, or like maybe his wife or something is a co-founder, so we could get them on.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Weird.
That'd be fun.
Toady and NetNose.
I was thinking.
Yeah, it's gonna take a little time to figure out how to. We got to produce this one to make it a good one. I want good prizes. I need good questions. I need good founders. I need good music, 60s style game show music, and we need all that. Yeah, it's so.
And so we're working on that. Oh yeah, Compre and Nifty. That's the Tippin crew. And the Los Fomos, yes, for sure. We saw them in the chat. That would be fun.
And this would be fun to do live.
Yeah. It has to be live. Yeah, has to be live for sure.
No, I mean like in person, live.
Oh, that would be fun. That would be fun. We could do a version.
Okay, no, Mika.
I don't think that's going to happen. But Mika, I will say this: we are going to have Dish on in a couple of weeks. He is coming on August 25th, I think it is. Yeah, the 25th. Dish will be here chatting about all things Clanker and what's happening. There's some new things coming, so we'll be chatting with them, but not. I think we will have to sub in Moon Pappy. There you go. Although this would definitely bring the ratings. Dish and Proxy would definitely be interesting.
We're not chasing ratings, Prof. We're not doing
Just
that.
saying. I'm just saying, without chasing it, the ratings would come. That's the thing. All right. Anything else?
Would you
Adrienne?
ambush Dish? Would you be like, all right, Dish, it's you and Moon Poppy? And then be like, surprise.
Never. Not to Dish. No, I love Dish too much and he's too sweet. I would never in a million years. Never would do that to him. Surprise. That's like a This Is Your Life kind of. You remember This Is Your Life, where they bring out these people from your past or whatever? That would be kind of funny. But no, we would never do that to Dish. We would do that to Proxy. The other way around, I'm open to. But I would never sabotage Dish. All right. Anything else, Adrienne? It's been a long one. Yeah, okay, this is your on-chain life. There you go. Exactly.
Show you all the shit coins you bought over time. Bring out the NFT you paid too much for.
Exactly. That would be torturous. I think that's a really bad idea. Somebody posted, there's some app now that will like tell you your on-chain net. Somebody like tagged me and shared my on-chain net worth or something, which wasn't correct, but that's okay. But it was interesting, and I'm like, wow, feels invasive. But hey, it's all on chain. What are you gonna do? Yes, the gas you spent in today's dollars. There was a site, fees.wtf, I think is what it's called. I don't know if it's still out there, but I think it is. Fees.wtf.
All the gas you spent voting.
Everything. Yeah.
Just your voting gas. Yeah.
Torturous back in the day. Now not as big of a problem, but yeah. And now there was an airdrop for that. Was that SOS? Or no, I think it was gas. I think it was called gas, $sign gas, something like that. But SOS might have been based on that too. There was a couple back in 2022-ish timeframe that gave you based on your crazy fees you paid. All right. Yeah, exactly. All of us, many such cases. The gas spent in the spring of 2021. All right. Anything else, Adrienne? What else did we forget? I think that was everything. There was a lot that happened in this past week. So excited to see how it all plays out with the new wallet features and then everything that's going on with Base. We'll be back Friday. And we have no trivia this week, no poker. It's all very quiet little week before we jump back in. I start classes next week. So just teaching the one class. Gotta get my student. So you'll see my students will be onboarding to Farcaster in some way this year. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a little different. I'm a little nervous, but one way or the other, either through the Base app or I may just put them directly on if I can't quite get the beta access. So we'll see. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. All right.
All right. Oh, I will actually one shout out, which I didn't pull, but the Base On-Chain Summer Awards Build-a-thon is open. I submitted our mini app, but applications are still open, I think, through September 2nd, although there's certain things like there was a deadline, like if you got it in by last week, you could be considered to go to a on-chain summit in San Francisco where there's certain deadlines, but I think in terms of like the overall awards, they have $250,000 that they are giving out to mini apps and consumer apps in different categories. So definitely, if you've built a mini app or you're building something, submit to that.
And if you are wanting to go to Basecamp, there's a separate application for that. So I did apply for that, and I do need to put the trivia app in for the app awards. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I end up going. Waiting to find out if I was accepted, but here we go to Stowe. Yeah, it'll be fun. All right, everybody. That's it for us. We will be back Friday at 8:30 a.m. No guests this week. We are taking it easy. There's lots to talk about, so we don't really even need a guest this week. And we will see you all on the timeline. So until then, bye-bye, everybody.